Okay, welcome back. So up to this point, we've looked at how to install OpenAI, how to import OpenAI, put our key in, and how to call the OpenAI modules through the APIs. So again, this would be I'm going to call it response, and we'll take effectively the same prompt, or something similar to the same prompt. Calling your response now. So the engine is the model. This is whenever we have natural language questions, we're going to use Text DaVinci 3. And the prompt is really what we care about here. So in the prompt, what I'm going to say is, just to give this an example, what are some examples of some of the things that I can do with pandas and Python in data wrangling, just to ask for some ideas. So I'm going to run this here in this prompt. Again, just keeping my max tokens at 1,000. That's going to limit the response that I get back. And just print out my response there. We'll give it a second for the API to call. And here you go. Okay. Load, view, manipulate data, data cleaning, data aggregation, and machine learning. All right, so here's one other thing that I want to call out. If you go to the playground, what you'll see is that there are other variables that you can apply. One of them is temperature. So if I ask in the playground, you can see the URL for the playground right there. What are some things that I can do with, let's say, TensorFlow? For instance, hide this, move this, submit. So this will show me some of the things that I can do with TensorFlow. And the reason that I call this out here is because if you look to the right over here, in the playground, you can select several models. Text DaVinci 3 is just one of them, but there's several models that you can select. Text DaVinci 3 is the most powerful. You can select the temperature. The temperature is really going to be a measure of the creativity or the randomness that's going to go into the responses here. So I say all of that because if you go to view code here, it will give you the code. So we've already done most of this all up here already, but we can just go here to response. I'm going to copy that response there. Go back over here, go to my code, place my code here, and print out the response. Okay. I'm going to print out the response there. No, excuse me. Let me try this better. Hold on. Response. Give it a second to call the API. And here it's sending back a raw response. So there's a couple different ways that you can call this. If nothing else, what you can do is you can use this to, let me delete this response. You can use this to access the features. I'm I'm going to call the one from before. Let me move myself out the way. So I'm going to call the one that we had before, except now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add temperature. The temperature can go from 0 to the temperature can go from 0 to 1. So I'm going to change the temperature here to 0.9 and then print the response. And this should give a more creative answer is the idea. Okay, there you go. So there you go. So now you see what it looks like, how you can go to the back end to let you see what all of the options are. Um, Here we're calling it engine. There's, if we did create, it would be under model, but I like my way of doing it better, honestly, because the responses are formatted nicer. Okay. So as we go through here, the idea is that as you're learning, you're not using this, I mean, frankly, to do the work for you, but you're using this to assist you and to answer questions and things like that. So if I said, hey, what is a deep neural network, for instance, if you're in a data science class, right? If you look at the code here, and I would encourage you to run this, right? It will give you the explanation of what a deep neural network is. If I say, what is a deep neural network, and explain it to a 12-year-old, we run that. Okay, and you can see it's going to change the level of the code. Okay, so that's just kind of playing around with the APIs a little bit. As you kind of go through the class, my class anyway, the idea is that as you come across concepts and ideas and things like that that is potentially new, then you can ask questions and have your responses generated in real time on the fly. So I'm going to pause this video here. I'm going to stop here, and when we come back, I'm going to show you how to use um, ChatGPT in the context of feature engineering. Okay, so we'll go through a feature engineering use case, and when we have questions or when we need code generated or synthetic code, we'll use these APIs for that. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and I will see you in the next video. My name is Dr. Lee from Miami-Dade College.